What's up guys, and welcome to this. This is another video right here on the SOS WrestleTalk YouTube channel. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button, drop a comment and smash that subscribe button. I'm your host LK, just finished watching the New Japan's New Japan Cup 2024 Night 10. Let us know down below in the comments your thoughts and opinions on this show, as well as the tournament overall, heading into the final night coming up in a few nights time. So we were from Shizuoka, Japan, from this morning, the 17th of March 2024. So we had two quarter-final matches on this show. We had Yota Tusji against Run Narita, and we had Evil against Shingo Takagi. Obviously heading into this one, everyone was rooting for Shingo, and it was a win-win with Run Narita and Yota Tusji, because both are obviously of the younger generation that us New Japan, I say us New Japan fans, I hope a lot of people feel kind of the same way, that they're just rooting for a lot of these younger guys to get a big push, and especially with Okada gone, Jay White gone, Will Ospreay gone, all gone to AEW, great partners. You're kind of left with a situation where, yeah, you got your Naito, and they really need to build people up, and it clearly shows they're not really in a rush to build anyone up, because we've still got the same wrestlers in the mix, but we'll get onto that. We'll break down the matches first, and then we'll get down to the whole brackets of the tournament. That's going to be the plan of action, the plan of attack. So we have, we have Yota Tusji defeating Ren Narita in the first of two quarter-final matches on this show. Went just under 20 minutes, and I enjoyed this one. I really did. I felt that they did a great job of, Ren Narita getting some heel heat, coming out of the House of Torture. Considering that House of Torture is, as name states, torture, I do think that there is a couple of guys now that we can get behind. We won't get behind Evil, but you got Jack Perry, and you also have Ren Narita, two really talented guys. Now, what if, in time, we grow to like this group? And I'm going to push the boat here, because, Evil stinks, but Evil had a good match in the main event. I enjoyed it. I'm going to come on here, on public, and say I enjoyed that match. But we'll get to Tsuji. There was really good back and forth. There was a great Northern Lights bridge suplex from Narita. No one can bridge like Ren Narita in any wrestling company anywhere. Try and if you know someone who can hit a better bridge suplex in 2024 than Ren Narita, please let me know down below. But he got the win. Yota Tusji, got the win here. It was full with the usual ref bumps, distractions, the normal House of Torture bullshit. But it was fun. It was good to see two young guys go out there and go at it, because that's essentially going to be the future of the promotion. Because these, Sonada's, Naito's, Tanahashi's, they can only keep going for so long before their body gives up on them. And that's no disrespect to them. It's just, unfortunately, it's just human life. But Tsuji got the win here and advances to the semi-finals. So from that front, I'm glad they're pushing at least one young guy. And Narita got to the quarterfinals. He had a really great match at Korakuen Hall towards the later part of January against Shota Umino. And if you haven't watched that, go out of your way to check that out, because that was a really good match. But looking forward to seeing what Tsuji will do against Evil in the semi-finals, because that leads straight on to the next match. Now, I watched this in New Japan World. I didn't watch it live, and I stated on literally another video, I think it was yesterday's or that day before's, I stated that it was so refreshing to see New Japan World having this update where you can click on the matches. Alright, you don't have to sit there and watch the entire show and skip. That's a problem, having to sit there and try and find the cup matches. You don't want to sit through Chaos versus Bullet Club 10-man tag. You don't want to sit through LIJ versus House of Torture 6-man tag when you're just looking for the New Japan Cup matches. Now this new update on New Japan World, which I highly recommend if you don't have, it's broke down match by match. So for me, coming on here to do this review, I could just go, right, cool. But I don't know if it was because I watched it too early, because the show finished a couple of hours ago, but I went on there and it only had 7 matches. I'm like, it's an 8-match card. Where is Evil versus Shingo? So after the Narita and Tsuji match, the House of Torture, as you'd expect, beat down on Tsuji, LIJ comes out, Bushi, Hiromu, they come out to make the save, and Shingo comes out to make the save. Now, Evil's already in the ring because he's been being a dick during the Tsuji and Narita match, so we go straight to Evil versus Shingo from there, and the crowd dug it. The crowd were hot for this show, at least the two matches that I caught. You had 1,119 folks in there. Half the building was kind of, well, I'd say a quarter of the building was kind of sanctioned off, but at least it gave the aesthetic that it was a very full building. And for what it is, kind of middle of the range New Japan Cup, it's not a G1, it's not a Wrestle Kingdom, it's not a Dominion, it's not a Security Genesis, it's not one of those big events. So in the, we talked about it a couple days ago on the Night 8 review, that attendance had dropped. So it's good to see that there was people in the building. But Evil and Shingo, and I'm going to be honest here, my match of the night, I mean there's only two matches, my match of the night was obviously Tsuji and Run Narita, because I just thought it was really good. But this one, the beginning was your traditional Evil boring bullshit. His heel heat work is really boring, to the point where you kind of start doing other things. You look on your phone, you go for a piss, you hang your washing up, you make yourself a cup of rosé, grab yourself a beer from the fridge, whatever it is you do. That's what you tend to do with this. But you suffer through that for the first 5-6 minutes, and then I felt, because there was LIJ guys with Shingo, when the House of Torture were trying to get involved, there'd be big brawls on the outside, and it'll keep alternating. So when Evil was going to do something dirty, LIJ would get involved, and when Shingo was going to get the upper hand, Torture got involved, and it was a really good dynamic, and I did enjoy it. I really do enjoy Dick Toko ringing the bell. So Shingo hit Made in Japan, 1, 2, looked like it was going to be a 3, Red Shoes was going to hit the mat, but the bell rung, and they did this during the quarterfinals as well, and they've been doing this tournament. I really like it, because you don't see it camera-wise, you're thinking the bell rung, what the fuck was that, an accident? And then it's just Dick Togo stood there with the bell, and then obviously the ref gets bumped. So, and then the Evil got the win with Everything is Evil after a low blow after the ref gets distracted. I mean, Evil advancing's not what you want. It is unfortunately what we got. So our semi-finals, we have Sanada versus Hiroki Goto, which will be taking place on the 18th, which is tomorrow, as well as Evil versus Yota Tusji, which will be taking place tomorrow, which will be coverage on this channel. So if you haven't done so already, hit the like button, drop a comment, and smash that subscribe button to keep up to date with all of our latest videos we upload right here on this channel. Can we please talk about the fact that Sanada beat Jack Perry yesterday? Now I understand you kind of want as much star power as you can in this cup, because you need to sell tickets, you need to sell New Japan World subscriptions. So Sanada versus Goto is a big match. But what if we had Jack Perry win? This new guy who's come in from AEW, and he's debuted with this faction that is to be taken seriously to an extent, minus Evil. So why didn't we have Jack Perry go over? I mean, my prediction here is we're going to get a Sanada versus Yota. It should be a Sanada versus Yota Tsuji final. But imagine if the final was Jack Perry versus Yota Tsuji. Right, two young guys that you're building in a New Japan Cup in a year where you're building people. That's the sole purpose of this year. You've lost hard, you've lost heavy, painfully to the competition. Not your partner, the competition. So it's kind of like, damn man, it's just... but Sanada Goto tomorrow, really looking forward to this one. My prediction is Sanada. I'll be rooting for Goto. I really like Goto. I'm glad he got a win over Chase Owens. Very surprised, to be honest, that he got the win over David Finlay. But hey ho, that's how the cookie crumbles. Another one. We could have had David Finlay versus Jack Perry. We don't build here, but we need to start building because it's worrying. But at least we got Yota Tsuji in the mix. I pray Yota Tsuji beats Evil. I pray. This will be... I can't be dealing with an Evil final. So Yota Tsuji, please. I've seen so much of this House of Torture interruption during this tournament. It'd be so nice to not see it in the final. But I'm rooting for... My dream final would be Goto versus Yota Tsuji. That would be my dream final. But realistically, it's going to be Sanada versus either Evil or Tsuji, depending on what mood they woke up in the morning. But that's the brackets. Overall, an okay tournament so far. Not been the best, but we've had a few really good matches in. The Tsuji Narita was a pretty good match here, as was, believe it or not, Evil and Shingo. So with that in mind, let me know down below in the comments. Stay safe, stay well. It's been LK, and I'll be catching your asses down the line.